In the 1600s, this crop killed more people than war. Today, you have it in your coffee. Every food has a history. Some of it is unsettling. This is the story behind the food on your plate and why it matters. Welcome to Know You Nosh. We explore the science, economics, and history of food. New episodes every Sunday. If you value understanding where your food comes from, subscribe. Let's begin. Number 7. Sugar, the slave crop. Sugar was once a luxury, worth more than gold. To meet European demand in the 1700s, over 12 million Africans were forcibly transported to work on sugar plantations in the Caribbean and Brazil. The mortality rate was 50% within the first 3 years. The industry was so brutal that the average life expectancy for a sugar slave was just 7 years after arrival. The profits from sugar directly funded the Industrial Revolution in Britain. Today, sugar is in 74% of packaged foods. The global market is worth $50 billion. Legacy, our modern addiction to sugar is rooted in a 300-year system of forced labor. Number 6. Bananas, republics, and coups. The term banana republic isn't a joke. It's economic history. In 1911, American fruit companies, primarily United Fruit Company, controlled 90% of Guatemala's banana exports. When the Guatemalan government tried to tax them, the company lobbied the U.S. government. The result? A CIA-backed coup in 1954 that overthrew the democratically elected president. For the next 40 years, Guatemala endured civil war. Over 200,000 people died. Legacy, the low price of bananas today is partly due to this history of corporate and political intervention in Central America. Number 5. Nutmeg, the island of massacre. In 1621, the Dutch East India Company wanted a monopoly on nutmeg. Only one place grew it, the Banda Islands in Indonesia. Their solution? Kill almost everyone. Of the 15,000 inhabitants, only 1,000 survived. The Dutch repopulated the islands with enslaved labor. For the next 200 years, nutmeg was worth more than its weight in gold. One sack could buy a house in London. The irony, today, a jar costs $3. Legacy, nutmeg's value collapsed with globalization, but the islands never recovered. Number 4. Cottonseed oil, Crisco's origin. Before 1911, nobody ate cottonseed oil. It was industrial waste used for lamps and soap. Procter & Gamble found a way to hydrogenate it, turning liquid oil into a solid. They marketed it as Crisco, a purer alternative to lard. The marketing campaign was so successful, it changed American diets forever. It was the birth of trans fats, which the FDA later linked to 50,000 premature heart attacks per year. Trans fats were banned in the U.S. in 2018. Legacy, most processed foods you eat today exist because of a marketing campaign for industrial waste. 3. Ketchup, from medicine to condiment. In the 1830s, ketchup was sold as medicine. Dr. John Cook Bennett claimed tomato pills could cure diarrhea, jaundice, and indigestion. It was a scam. By 1850, the tomato pill market collapsed. So how did it become a condiment? Henry J. Heinz. He added massive amounts of vinegar and sugar as preservatives, solving the problem of botulism in ketchup. By 1900, Heinz controlled 90% of the market. Legacy. The most popular condiment in the world started as 19th century snake oil. Number 2. Lobster, prison food to luxury. In colonial America, lobster was trash food. It washed up on beaches in 2-foot piles. It was so abundant, it was fed to prisoners and servants. Servants in Massachusetts had contracts stating they wouldn't be forced to eat lobster more than 3 times a week. The shift. 1880s. Railway. Companies started serving it to wealthy passengers from inland who didn't know it was cheap. They marketed it as exotic. By 1950, lobster was a luxury. Price increased 4,000%. Legacy? Our perception of luxury food is often just marketing. Number 1. Chocolate, the currency of empires. The Aztecs used cacao beans as money. 100 beans bought a slave. 10 beans bought a rabbit. When the Spanish arrived, they shipped it to Europe and mixed it with sugar, creating the first chocolate bar. The problem: sugar plantations, cacao plantations. Same system. By 1900, 90% of British chocolate was made with cacao from West African slave plantations. Today, 60% of the world's cacao comes from Ivory Coast and Ghana. Child labor is still a documented issue in the supply chain. Legacy: every time you eat chocolate, you're tasting 500 years of global economics. Food is never just food. It's economics, politics, and history. Which story surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Next week on Know You Nosh, the science of food color, why we eat with our eyes. If you learned something, share this with one person.